Hi, welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD,
Erin, and Kat.
So, back with more Vampire Diaries. This is season 2, episode 9, Katerina.
Ooh.
Oh, be flashbacky, be flashbacky.
Please, I love a flashback. Yeah, not
history.
Not much to say because we just watched the last one. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. In the comments, yeah, whose backstory would you want?
Who is he?
One of the originals. It's a legend.
From the first generation of vampires.
Okay, so you're saying that the oldest vampire in the history of time is coming after me? Yes.
No, what they're saying is, I mean, what she's saying is true.
Which is?
And you know what she's saying is going to kill you.
Which I'm not.
They were looking at a solid maybe.
Stefan's gonna see right through me. Caroline, as my friend, do you promise? Or not? You had to break out the girlfriend code. Okay. I promise.
I love that she's a vampire, but like that's such a code
Yeah.
for her. She's just the
Why would you want
best.
Stefan? Katherine?
What state is she gonna be in
I'll
already?
be okay from here.
She's such a tease. She's not stupid, I'll give her that.
If I was her, I'd
Long
want to draw a
story.
line so I could keep track of where it is.
That's what I was
All the way
thinking.
back to- You know, we can talk later.
About what?
What did you do?
Told Tyler I'm a vampire. Thanks. I want you to meet.
Damon Salvatore, turned 1864, Mystic Falls by Catherine Pierce, aka Katerina Petrova.
It's like a historian.
So I take it I was right.
I'd rather die than go back to class. Please just let me die.
Oh my god, did she accidentally turn her? Uh-oh.
There's another way out.
Do you think she knew she would definitely turn if she killed
Better hurry.
herself?
Oh yeah, she'd done it deliberately.
You just signed out that sentence. Betsy, you died tonight.
Oh, so she took to it very quickly.
500 years running because you used them. Are you mad?
Yes, Caroline. As a matter of fact, I am a little mad. I mean, you put yourself at risk if Damon finds out.
You're not going to tell him, are you?
No, of course not.
Why are you such a good friend to me?
I don't know. I guess you remind me of someone. My best friend, Lexi.
Oh.
You have a friend?
You say that was such a
Do you have any family from Salem?
Actually, I do.
Oh.
What do you know? It's a small world, right? We'll see you at school.
Yeah.
Shake his hand, get a reading.
Good girl. She's doing it on purpose, I reckon.
Oh, is he going to start smashing some windows, do we think?
He's so menacing.
I like his ring though.
Our bad. Okay, now I'm leaving.
Wait,
No, Caroline, you have 2 seconds to come clean.
what do you mean?
I believe the whole innocent act a little bit better if I didn't know how good you were at providing a distraction on demand.
I can't tell you.
You can't tell me.
She's not in any danger. I would not have let her put herself in danger.
Put herself in danger where? She's with Damon, isn't she?
Ew, no.
Where is she?
I am your friend, but I'm also Elena's friend, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to tell you where she is.
Girl code.
I also think it's fair that she's saying, look, she is not in danger. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Witches and their spells. So many ingredients, so many people to sacrifice. So you need a werewolf. Believe it or not, They're hard to come by.
What else? A witch to do the spell?
Mine bailed, but Lonnie did just fine.
What else?
Vampire.
Caroline. So you were gonna just
No.
hand us all over to be killed?
Better you die than I.
If a vampire breaks the sun curse, then the werewolves are stuck with the curse of the moon forever, and vice versa.
But werewolves are all extinct.
Well, true. I've never seen one, but rumor has it.
Not such a rumor.
Mystic Falls.
I love his smirk.
I got to visit this place. It sounds awesome.
Well, I can make that happen if you help us.
He didn't even throw that hard.
Drag Rose out! And whatever his other name was.
He's a great guy, he wouldn't betray me.
He did.
It's Klaus, don't you understand? You don't know this man, Dan. We're all dead.
She's so worried, it makes me very worried.
Well, we prefer the term warlock.
Getting all my wishes. I said I want my witches to want my werewolves. More magic.
I haven't even told you the best part of the story.
Is that her family?
Yeah.
No, Mama.
So she wasn't always a monster. Some humanity. Some feeling.
No. No.
I don't want my freedom. Because when Klaus shows up to kill us all, and he will, I'll be in the tomb where no vampire will enter because they can't get out. I'll be the safest psychotic bitch in town.
She's fucking good. You've got to laugh.
She always comes out on top somehow.
Even when she's down, she's not out. I like these two together.
Friendship.
Well, now I'm very jealous of her. Poor Jeremy. She's now going to be more connected to him than she would have been him. Alone again.
I can't blame anyone else anymore. Because it's not because you came into town or because you and I fell in love. That's not why everyone that I love is in danger. It's because of me. Everything is because of me.
Okay, now I feel really, really bad for her. What a weight it is when you know that there's nothing you could have done or did that.
It literally just sucks to be her.
Yeah. But first time I'm seeing some emotion from her.
Get the moonstone, a witch should be able to figure out the rest. Good luck, Rose.
Very nicely done.
I was waiting for that.
Katerina, how can you compel me? A vampire can't compel another vampire.
I'm a special vampire.
He compelled him.
Because you're an original.
I want you to take this and drive it through your heart.
Aww.
That would kill me forever.
That's horrible because he understands he's being compelled.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if he has this much power, I am terrified for that.
Was it really?
Oh! I knew I didn't like him!
To be done.
Son of a bitch.
I knew he was dodgy.
Just like, no.
Do you have to run?
I do. Goodbye!
Okay, so Erin had to dash off. So she got to enjoy the episode, but she can't chat.
No,
so
she didn't. My magic made her disappear.
So she's going to be sending us messages all evening with her thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's one of those with a lot of
Good.
information.
I thought Bonnie was getting a friend with the warlock, and it turns out he's also a wanker.
Also a W word. You're a warlock. No, you're a wanker.
To be fair,
Although
the
the
son
son might not know.
Yeah.
He might not know, yeah. He might be in the dark that his dad is some sort of fucking Originals Council member, warlock
But he was
leader, I
clearly
don't know.
trying to show her that, like, I'm not a threat to you. Because he...
But is that a
obviously-
trap?
Yeah, true. Because
if
he
they
was
need a
basically
witch.
saying, like, my dad is not very subtle.
Right, yeah.
But also, like, why is a witch involved in this? Seeing you've got to sacrifice a witch, I don't understand what's happening.
No,
Because
she
the witch
didn't say
made-
sacrifice a witch.
No.
She said a witch to do the spell.
Because the witch made the
I
original
see,
curse, a
okay.
shaman. So,
Okay.
they need the witch, yeah.
Yeah.
So a warlock can't replace a witch.
No, it can.
Oh, okay.
I would
So
have
they
thought
don't
They're
need a witch.
interchangeable.
Warlock is
him.
just...
That's a good point, though, because why would he not get his son to do it? If he himself is a warlock, or his
Why can't he do it
son,
himself, then?
yeah,
Because the only
Unless
person
that
that had
person's
lined
in
up Bonnie
danger.
was Catherine.
yeah.
And Catherine wasn't working with
But
Elijah.
when he just phoned, he said you need the moonstone and a witch.
Yeah. So we don't know why he's telling them that.
Yeah, true. Okay.
But yeah. I like the flashbacky episodes. It's very fulfilling. You get a lot of information. So we know that we still don't know. And sorry, please correct me if I'm wrong. If I've got it wrong in my head. But Katherine is a doppelganger.
Yes.
Yes.
But we still don't know who she is a doppelganger of.
No,
Because
we
if
don't.
she is Katerina Petrova, but that is not the original person
Yeah.
that she. Okay.
Yeah.
But her is a Petrova family. So she had a baby out of wedlock. Don't know who the baby's dad
And
was.
the baby was taken away.
Yeah,
so-
but then we don't know who the baby's dad was, though.
No.
We don't know
Okay.
anything about the baby, but we don't.
But
But
that's-
also, no one appears to know the baby exists.
So that's how the line continued without people knowing that it had
Sure,
continued.
sure, because there was no
they-
record of
and they
her
would have kept
having a
that
baby.
quiet. And of course, then her family were murdered.
Yeah, so there was no record of her having a baby, and then she was
Yeah.
turned into vampire. Right. But what showed there, because it's interesting, I always ask that question. I was like, were you always this cold? And it seems that no, she hasn't been, because it looked like if she'd have had the chance, she would have kept that baby and she would have loved it.
Yeah.
But that was taken away from her. So slowly, she's sort of had horrible things happen to her,
Yeah.
having to survive. And I was also thinking, and again, I'm not trying to, not forgiving. She's been really cruel and really horrible to lots of people, and she's savage and an absolute killer. But women back then, do you know what I mean? Like what she must have done to survive. Like she would have had no rights. She would have had, do you know what I mean? She was a gorgeous young woman. She would have, yeah. So God knows what she would have had to do to survive.
It's one of those, she wasn't born bad.
No, exactly. She was made.
made.
Perfect. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. That's it.
I think she must have always had a bit of a manipulative streak, because she managed.
Yeah.
She started before she was a vampire. She manipulated them into making her a vampire.
And manipulated Trevor, to escape. You're right. I don't think she was bad. She wasn't necessarily a killer, but she was kind of, given the tools
But I
by being a
think those-
vampire. And you said it was
Those
exaggerated.
streaks came from survival.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, think about it. What if her life had been, they would have let her keep the baby. They would have said something, I don't know, but just keep it. And she would have stayed with her family, raised her baby, raised her daughter. She could have been a completely different person. You know what I mean? She might have been happy.
Yeah.
But who knows? But yeah, it's interesting to see. And then the emotion when she was reading the book, and that was a very good sketch, wasn't it? But to see that emotion, that's the first time we've seen that vulnerability and that actually giving a shit about anyone other than herself.
But also she's locked in a tomb alone and no one can get to her. So she, in a way, can show that emotion because no one's going to know.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
I
definitely.
think
That's a good point.
there's a difference between now. She's just sort of like, bring it on, man. No one can come in there because they can't get back out. So back on.
Yeah. Like you say, no one can see if she lets down that icy exterior for a little bit. And also something very raw there. She's literally in the cave in the dark with a little fucking lamp and the book.
Yeah.
Like, who are you kidding? That's you've got nothing right now.
Yeah.
So it's almost like her weakest point kind of thing. So it makes sense that she would But yet, that book might have given, and that sketch would have given her a sense of comfort when she has nothing else. And I thought it was quite nice, actually, of Elena to, and smart, but to be like, I'll give you this book, I'll give you this lamp, you know, like, so if you're living down there, at least I can give you these little comforts. Yeah, which is actually very nice.
But she didn't give her too much, so there's still room for more.
Yeah.
You know, like, I might give you a pillow.
And they left the door open. They didn't put the stone back.
Not that we saw, no.
Yeah. So she could come and visit again, even without Caroline or without Stefan needing to move the rock. But wouldn't that be interesting if she were to come and be like, look, we're not going to be friends, let's not kid ourselves, but you can't get out, so what if I bring you things and you chat? And ironically enough, that could be Catherine's only sense of relationship to someone outside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there could...
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, in a way.
We saw Damon and Rose go hang out together, bonding, and then getting it together.
I like that she sees through his bullshit straight away. She's like, and she was like, I'm older than you, so don't even try it.
I think there was a lot, especially that first conversation with Elena and Stefan as well, when she was like, definitely, and he's like, maybe. The looks they were exchanging, that kind of banter between them was quite...
It was quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Damon is someone who needs a sparring partner.
Something to bounce off
Yeah.
of. Yeah. I'm just going to say, if they were human and Rose and Damon had a baby, it would be such a pretty baby, because they've both got lovely hair, lovely skin, lovely big bright eyes, like, you know, they'd make a really pretty baby.
Yeah. Because Erin and I obviously love Lauren Cohen in The Walking Dead.
I have not watched that. That's on my never-ending to watch list. Catherine's, British accent was not too bad.
Yeah.
There were some words that she landed quite well, really well.
Yeah.
So it's good. But yeah, I like the backstory and learning how... So interestingly enough, they shipped her to England where she met Klaus, and Klaus wanted her for the sacrifice, but then she ran.
Yeah.
So just interesting to hear her backstory of how she ended up, and the irony.
Well, how she became
tricked
a vampire,
her way into becoming a vampire. Interesting.
We met and lost Slater.
Aww. He was cool. He was like a vampire hundreds-year-old nerd, professor, study guru, and I was like...
It's the fact that he's like Damon Salvatore, turned in Mystic Falls. Yeah.
I also really liked his point. He was like, what else am I supposed to do with my eternity? Like, don't judge me. Like, at least he's expanding his mind.
And do you know what? There's always something new to learn.
Exactly.
Why things change. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would have been a really good
Especially as he said, he's been at college since the 70s when he was turned, and you're like, oh man, you're only young.
Yeah. He would have been a really good little helpful sidekick to have in the show, because he's so smart.
He's kind of like, but you compelled me, but I don't understand. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
so we got a bit more of that.
An original can compel vampires.
Interesting. And what is the link to that dude who's the Warlock's dad? He said he was doctor. Which can mean many things, your speciality.
Well, we've seen witches working with vampires before, so...
That's true.
I don't know what his reasoning is, but...
Clearly he's wary of Bonnie because he knows she's a Bennett witch and not just a... Bennets appear to be quite powerful witches.
And I think if you're moving into a town and there's a witch, I think what his son in particular is doing is better to befriend them now than to make an enemy by seeming like we're hiding something.
Yeah, or misunderstandings. Leave room for misunderstandings,
Because, you know, he knew when she put her hand on his back, he knew what she was doing.
Yeah, interesting. Poor Jeremy.
Yeah. It started off so well with the episode.
And unless maybe it'll be a little triangle for a little bit of a who will she go with? Because at first, obviously, what was his name? The Warlock? Luca. He is obviously a very attractive young guy coming in, and she was like, hello. And then when she was like, oh, no, and now she stepped back a bit, but then by the end they were chatting again. So, you don't know. And I mean, I'm just going to say, I don't think Jeremy's out of the running. I think, so it could be a who will she go with?
Yeah, someone new.
Yeah.
And again, he doesn't know yet that maybe it may not be a romantic connection. It may just be someone who knows.
And in fairness, she said, "I'm meeting a friend." She hasn't. They haven't given any reason for him to be like, "Oh, I can't."
And, you know, she did say to Jeremy, like, you're Elena's brother. She clearly has a bit of a...
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no guarantees. It's still a bit, where's it going to go?
It's almost a bit like, you're kind of hot. But wait, I've known you this whole time and you're so-and-so's brother and that's... No, maybe I shouldn't.
You're growing up. What is this? What's happening?
He's not growing up. He's growing out.
Yeah. But I also thought that was cool that even if he is also confused or potentially showing a bit of interest... When he saw Bonnie and Luca chatting on the table, he just decided to leave. He didn't go over and be like, you know what I mean? He was just...
Or like when Luca introduced himself and he picked up on something.
Yeah, he's just a nice... Jeremy's such a nice guy. He didn't like dick swing and become a dick.
No, he was like, I'm going that way, I'll take you there.
And it's almost like... And which is nice because I like to think, we'll see, but... You shouldn't have to fight to be with someone. If they want to be with you, they'll be with you. So it's almost like Jeremy, in a way, he doesn't seem arrogant, but in a humbling way, he knows you shouldn't force yourself on someone and he shouldn't have to. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to barge my way. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm going to step back and then if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite nice and mature.
Interesting though, because the son didn't seem too impressed that they'd suddenly moved again.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been moving around a lot.
But maybe they've been moved by Elijah for a reason.
If we look at the timeline, Elijah in that house found out by compelling Elena that in Mystic Falls, Katherine is in the tomb with the moonstone.
Yeah.
Then Elijah was dead. He's woken up. We know he's woken up. No one else has. But in the meantime, he's then told this warlock and his dad, you've got to move to Mystic Falls. They turn up in Mystic Falls. So he's obviously, as you say, Elijah is telling... the doctor and his like where you've got to move to, so they would have been probably searching for something, but he is obviously under the command of Elijah because he's obviously told him you have to move there.
Does Elijah have a ring?
Yes. He did have one on his hand, a little gold one with a little blue thing on it.
It's because he was a daywalker.
No, I believe it's the ring because they focus quite heavily on it, and it's that blue stone.
But it could also just be like not for that purpose, but it could be a family crest. As in, back in the day, they would have worn jewellery like that, not because of any magic powers, but just because that was
it could be any ring they compel.
It doesn't even have to be a ring. Catherine's is actually a necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the stone.
Yeah.
And then you put it in jewellery because it's just easier to wear.
All the
but do you think that was a daywalker ring?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But again, it's one of those, you look at it and you think, that really doesn't go. It's like, it's not a very nice ring. It doesn't go with your outfit, but...
They would have only had so many choices
but it's
back
like
then.
Stephen and Damon's, they're like very chunky. You wouldn't.
You feel like it's the fashion of the time it was made.
So, I mean, they were more like family crests.
So now that when people ask them, they're like, "Oh yeah, family heirloom," because it's ridiculous.
Yes,
So Elijah's moment with the coins.
Man, that was like swatting away a fly. That was like no effort in it whatsoever, and it just went.
Yeah.
So I'm slightly scared of him using like full force. I mean, he karate chopped someone's head off. So, but they described him as a foot soldier. Yeah, but they described him as a foot soldier. So he is obviously But Elijah obviously is one of the you know the force, as it were.
But he is also one of the originals. So it appears there is a hierarchy within the originals as well.
That's why I said like a mafia family would have a hierarchy in it.
Yeah.
But again, I also like the way we're getting the information from Rose when she's saying, like, I don't know how much is true and how much is now legend.
Yeah.
And that's why Damon's like, it's a maybe. It's a maybe.
Well, whatever is true or legend, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Because he murdered all of Catherine's family, even though they served no purpose. He did that just to send a message.
It shows you where Katherine gets her ideas from.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things I love most about this season is they're doing an amazing job of building up Klaus and building up Elijah. We were getting very small amounts of him.
Yes. Yeah.
And he only does very small shows of force. But we're already like, oh my god, this guy's powerful and he's terrifying.
Yeah.
And Klaus, I'm sure he's going to turn up. So Klaus, when he turns up, is going to be like, what the actual fuck?
I also don't know whether it makes it more terrifying, but the fact that Elijah always wears a suit.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's got that mafia family vibe to it. And with us only seeing snippets of him and then only the legend of Klaus, like
Yeah.
no one's ever seen him or no one's ever survived who's seen him or whatever. It's the same. It's a little bit like the tactic that they used in a lot of horror movies, where you don't see the thing because it's actually more scary of the unknown.
Yeah.
And it's a force that you can't control. You have no control over when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, where, how powerful. You know what I mean? By not having any of those answers, the unknown is scarier.
Yeah.
I'm going to be intrigued to see what happens with Tyler. First time he turns.
It's because Caroline was distracting Stefan by telling him.
Yeah. And although that was a distraction, that was still a conversation that needed to be had.
And she was being honest, so she wasn't... I think that's where Caroline struggles with distracting people.
Yeah, she can't
lie. She has to lie.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he was like, Caroline, you're very good at distracting people. Where is Elena?
It was his face when he said she's with Damon, isn't she?
Yeah,
and he had that doubt.
Yeah, and she was like,
Ew.
no, like, don't be stupid.
That's really funny.
But again, he needs to show more faith in Caroline. And like she said, I would not have left her somewhere where if I thought she was in danger, I wouldn't.
But also he's more calm about Tyler being a werewolf than Damon. So I think it was good that she had that conversation with someone, and it was Stefan, because she was like, look, he is all alone and he genuinely doesn't know what's going to happen to him.
And she's getting the information.
So, can we help him? I mean, why not make that alliance?
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's the different ways that you approach things. Stefan is let's try and make them an ally, whereas Damon is it's a threat, we take it out before it can threaten me.
Yeah.
I think also with the werewolves, I think when they're in their human form, they can very much be made into an ally, but I feel that when they switch,
it's more
animalistic. Over them. We at the moment, all we know is that Mason used to tie himself, like chain himself up, which would suggest that there's not much control over what you're doing once you've turned.
Yeah, exactly. Is there any control, any thought?
Yeah. Is it you turn and you're
as a wolf,
but it appears to be that the wolf takes over your entire body.
Yeah.
And there's no humanity in there.
Yeah. So that was our reaction to The Vampire Diaries Season 2, Episode 9, Katerina. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.